So what's up, everybody? We got a little combination video today, a little WNBA, NBA. I'm just gonna throw them together for a little bit. That way, I can just kind of, put two subjects into one and kind of knock that out. Cause I got a big Indiana Pacers draft video coming, and I want to get to that. So let's go ahead and talk about these NBA finals. Let's speak about that real quick. Like I say, if you talk to me in the comments, I speak back. What's up? All right, let's get to it. RC covers the WNBA and the NBA. So I just want to recap and give my thoughts on game one between the Denver Nuggets and the Miami Heat, and what I think is going to happen in game two in terms of predictions. So the first game, I kind of had a lot going on in terms of family issues, so I had to, and it wasn't me involved per se, but I kind of had to mediate, so I was only able to see bits and pieces of almost every quarter. I know that sounds crazy, but from what I saw, Denver just did a great job at knocking down shots, a great job at exhibiting more energy from the get-go. Their role players really came to play. Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Karl Malone Gordon. I was calling him Aaron Karl Malone Gordon because he was getting busy down there on the block, and he was just going for what he knew he wanted. Throwing down slams, posting people up, just looking like a man possessed. And Jokic, he pretty much had a calm game. I think he only shot like 12 times, but of course he netted himself another record-breaking triple-double through these playoffs. Dude's just amazing at this point in time, just a magnificent superstar. He was really just kind of doing his thing. Jamal Murray was kind of just toying with him, getting buckets. Whenever Jokic wasn't on, Murray was on. Defensively, the Nuggets' length is a problem for the Miami Heat. So I don't know what the Heat can do about that, but Eric Spoelstra better get down on that adjustment game quick and fast, because game two is coming rapidly. I just thought Miami also blatantly just missed shots. Max Strus couldn't buy a bucket. Even with a brand new credit card, he couldn't buy a bucket. He just couldn't get it done. Caleb Martin, what happened? I think we just tend to sometimes get ahead of ourselves. So I think Ed just had a bad shooting night, but it can't happen again though. They just have to make shots. Strus had a lot of open shots. Jimmy Butler was marginal. Normal Jimmy tonight, normalized him. We haven't even said that a lot of these playoffs, but 13 points, that's unacceptable. 6 for 14 shooting, that ain't too bad. I mean, 42%, but you got to get up more shot attempts at least, Jimmy. And I'm not knocking him, because he's the reason why they kind of made it to these finals. Even though his supporting cast has been off the chain, they just weren't Thursday night, and that happens. At some point, Denver's gonna have a bad shooting night. Jamal Murray's probably gonna have a bad shooting night, but I think Denver just have more players to get it done. They got even more depth than the Heat got, and the Heat, even minus Victor Oladipo and Tyler Hero, they still got more depth. So I think the Heat might have to look down their bench. They might have to look down what they got down there. They got Nikola Jovic. He's still a rookie, so I don't think you can probably toss him into this. I mean, we didn't see much of Christian Braun either, and he's like a second-year player, so I don't know if you can put him out there. Udonis Haslem, possibly you can get a few minutes out of him just for physicality, perhaps. You got to do some. Kevin Love, I don't think I saw Kevin Love. Like I say, I didn't get to see very much of the game. I hope you guys can hear me okay, because got this AC running in here. I'm not about to be sweating bullets in here. It's a hot day. But I don't know. Throw in Kevin Love, maybe knock down knock down the three, stretch the floor. He can grab you a couple of rebounds. He's still scrappy, veteran at this point. Miami just has to really just kind of come back, and Jimmy's got to, attack. He's got to go for what he knows, and that's the only way to victory, man. Like I say, he's going to have to step it up, be it this game coming, game 2, or the next, or something. Something's going to have to give. He's going to have to put on the Dwayne Wade type NBA Finals performance in order for them to have a chance against these formidable Denver Nuggets who all playoffs long, they have been team's worst nightmare. I think to this point in time, if you ask me who played the Nuggets the best, probably going to have to say Phoenix. And they clobbered Phoenix in the closeout game 6, but at least the Sun got 2 victories against them. My Timberwolves, who are my other team outside of my Pacers, my Timberwolves got 1 victory on the Nuggets, but they played them pretty tight with the exception of 1 game. The Lakers played Denver pretty tight, but they still got swept. So we'll see what happens, but I'm giving Miami at least a game at home. I think Miami's going to have to win both home games for certain. And they really need to give maximum effort completely in game 2. And I tell you why, because if they go down 2-0, that's not a death sentence, but it would give them ultra confidence heading into game 3 if they could somehow steal a game and this thing be knotted up 1-1. I mean, they don't lack for confidence because they wouldn't have made it this far. AFC, great seed, but to get where they want to go, ultimately, they're going to have to get one on Denver's floor. So I think prediction-wise, I'm going to jump into that really, really quickly. Take me about 20, 30 seconds. Game 2, it's hard. Game 2, man, I should have took more time to think this one out. It might take a minute, not 30 seconds. But yeah, okay, I tell you what. For game 2, Jimmy Butler won't have 13 points again. He's definitely going to get in the 20s. He might hit 30. I think the role players will shoot better. I like Denver. I'm not going to give my score yet until tomorrow, because it's Saturday and the game's tomorrow evening. But I like Denver in a close game. A close game. I just do. At this point in time, I think Jimmy gonna bust out that little mini slump. But I like Denver. Yeah, I do. I like Denver to go up 2-0. And that's my take on that. So let's slide off the finals real quick. I just want to discuss 2 things really fast. So the first one in the WNBA, I wanted to talk about Phoenix really quickly. The Phoenix Mercury are 1-3. It's very early. For those of you that don't know, the WNBA expanded to a 40-game season. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I love the WNBA. Otherwise, I mean, why would I cover it, right? It's good to see Brittney Griner back. BG has been doing her thing. So that's what we're gonna talk about a little bit. Just Phoenix Mercury. And then quickly, I'm going to close with a little bit of Las Vegas Aces. But the Phoenix Mercury, I think ultimately they're going to get the shit righted. Kind of like the Los Angeles Lakers did when they started 2-10. But I think they're struggling to completely work Brittney Griner back into the system, because even though she's scoring, at times it's like they don't want to feed the skyscraper in. BG, that's no disrespect. She's a tall woman. They can feed her the ball and live by it for the most part. If anything, dumping inside, open up the floor for the shooters even more. BG's probably the best post player that I recollect seeing since like Sylvia Fowles. If you want to go back, Lisa Leslie, even Rebecca Lobo. So I think BG, you got to play through BG. And BG, I don't know if she would say so, but guys, you got to feed Griner the rock and play inside out. I mean, you're just going to have to do that. I mean, but you do have players. You got Sophie, she's a player. Suge Sutton, she's a player. Of course, Diana Taurasi's the leading scorer all time for the whole WNBA, similar to LeBron is for the NBA. And an instant Hall of Famer, and she's on and she's off at her advanced age of 40. 40's not old, but in basketball years it is. I don't know. Mariah Jefferson leaves a lot to be desired. Is Skylar Diggins-Smith going to come back? Hopefully so. I mean, that would be a sudden shot in the arm that this Mercury franchise could use. Like, make no mistake, 1-3, you're not out of anything. But I just need to see them play more as a cohesive unit throughout the game, because they were really, really good yesterday, but then overtime came and they just didn't have it. But the Sparks, they showed their dominance because they just literally took that game over. Every time the ball went in, it got taken away from BG. So they have to make adjustments. It's early in the season. I think that they could probably lose another couple of games and end up like 2-7 or something. But they still have time, even if they lose, a few more games, to get the shit righted, because BG's not going anywhere. And they're just going to have to get it together, settle down, and figure out what rotation's going to work best for the Phoenix Mercury going forward. Because I do feel like they can be a playoff team. I do feel that. But we're just going to have to see. And lastly, before I close, I just want to talk Las Vegas Aces. Everybody knows. If you don't know, we beat the Atlanta Dream yesterday to move 5-0. It's the first 5-0 start in franchise history. But we got a little bit complacent lately in our past 2 games. I have been seeing signs of like late fourth quarter complacency, or at least some, showing a little bit of not as invincible as I thought we were. I mean, everything is still a learning lesson. Even for champions, they have learning lessons. But we just have to play much smarter, get our defense locked in completely. Don't let these teams come back, because yesterday I was sweating like crazy, thinking like, man, here come the Dream. They about to give us that loss. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, we going undefeated, because that's a lot of pressure. And nobody really knows what I'm saying. Like, I mean, you all hear me saying we going 40-0, but that's not likely a possibility. And for the most part, I'm just really kidding around, because I don't really see us doing that. But outside of that, you don't want to lose games to teams like the Dream, like the Lynx, like, the Storm. So you just have to play as hard as possible all the time. Asia Wilson pretty much saved the game for us. Kelsey with a big play. Who else with a big play? Kia Stokes with a big block. Chelsea Gray with a late clutch shot. So that's all I got, man. Go Aces. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm on to the next one in a little while. Let me get done what I need to get done. But thank you for watching. If you watched this whole video, I appreciate you. I'm out. Thanks.